Hello everyone, I'm Aren, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. We solved our first case. We found the culprit, the disappearance of the girl and the murder of Cowell, which, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode, go check it out. It was Cowell himself who not only kidnapped the girl, or was planning to kidnap the girl, but also caused his own demise. I don't know how long we have after this, so I guess we'll just keep going and see what's left.
Hey there.
Yeah!
What was with the
Navia was the goat, honestly.
Right as the trial ended?
She was a lot of help right at the end.
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, we're not continuing, I guess. Well,
What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really trying to defend Linny. I wasn't necessarily looking into a serial disappearances case. Yeah, see, the Traveler always has that, where they don't really want to deal with all the drama in the nation, which I think it's fair to a degree, but gameplay-wise, it's like, come on, we already know what we're here for, dude. Let's just get into it. So I was really trying to defend Linny, I guess.
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And
I mean,
given that there's new evidence from the trial, there
true.
should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
I don't know, but it did feel like we started breaking some ground.
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry.
Yeah,
I might have been too presumptuous.
To be fair, yeah, we have.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah. And we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me.
Pretty poetic, too, I guess.
Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
And then Paimon won't refuse.
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
If you say so. Let's go have a meal, though.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh,
yeah,
wonderful.
Of course.
In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
Right. I keep forgetting that the Court of Fontaine is the actual city, even though this is the opera and the court.
All right, then.
It's a little confusing. But I'm catching on. Ah, there we go. Okay, Act 1 completed. Okay, so we finished the prelude. We continue. Go to the hotel. We'll go for a little longer. Let's see if we can maybe start the new act, I guess. I don't know, how many acts are there? I would expect that they will be just one act. But no, I mean, it's been a while since the Archon quests. Because usually when it's not the main quest of the nation is, you know, one act. Until Debord. Debord? I don't know.
I came here several times with my father when I was little. But stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Cool.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
That does look really good.
Why, of course. Go
Look at this
ahead,
bread.
try whatever you
frick.
like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
Nice.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Certainly worth celebrating. It was a pleasure working with you. Yeah, certainly worth pressure.
True. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
Likes her food. She likes making food, eating food.
Do you think that the mastermind
understandable.
behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, But I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
Right.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
That's a good point. Yeah, we hadn't seen it until that happened.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
Pretty suspicious,
In
isn't
such
it?
investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists.
Oh.
Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Oh, okay. Up until now, I didn't really understand what this group was, but I think I get it a little more now.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
Yeah.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Yeah, I guess main course of action is look for the Hydro Archon for some information. We haven't had much opportunity to do so, yeah.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
That's a massive cherry.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah.
I guess so.
We've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways? Perhaps even methods of, let's say, questionable legality?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Oh boy.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
I feel like we could just ask. Farina seems fairly interested in us, to be fair.
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
Alright, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions.
I like how we're talking about an Archon, you know? We're talking like she's the, I don't know, just a random girl.
I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy,
What?
I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
Okay.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Yep, good point.
Valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
How can you overlook something like that?
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break.
Cut the line?
You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations.
Right.
False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean
Maybe.
if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Yeah, that is kind of worth a shot. Will someone with her personality really feel shame? Yeah, definitely. Worth a try.
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Sure.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Oh.
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
What the heck, Paimon?
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fonta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
Huh. My drink also tasted that way.
Is that so? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fonta here then.
Weird, okay.
If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
Okay, thanks. Something is loading, it seems. Or maybe not.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
so
Okay, that was weird.
full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
You could try walking. You could try floating a little lower. Maybe. Yeah, maybe to float a little lower.
Can't you see Paimon's barely an inch off the ground?
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left.
Hey, Navia!
Girl.
What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Seems that was pretty tough for her, yeah.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again.
Should it?
Bye, Navia!
Really, we're not gonna help her or anything?
So this is goodbye.
I have a lot of money.
Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
Thank you.
See ya!
Appreciate it, homie. Ooh, a slight rain falls without reason. Act 2. Nice. Fountain Plaza, in front of the Opera House. Oh, we're going back there. Dang, they really have us going back and forth out here. But that was an interesting start. Okay, what is this gonna be?
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Areneus might have been the last one.
Vache.
Again?
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Yeah. Clearer than it was during the day. It is.
That's kind of spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache. Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something
Well.
nasty in the water.
Can feel strong emotions. Things are getting a little blurry.
Hang on. Paimon can kind of hear a voice.
Ooh.
It's calling for Vache, right? Hey,
Yep.
Traveler? Stop walking!
What
Come
the?
on, wake up!
What are we doing? Traveler? Oh, cutscene? Ooh. An oceanid. Where is this?
Vache. Are you my dear Vache?
Nope.
No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love
Nope.
is?
I'm afraid not.
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
Ooh, you were once human.
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I
Ooh.
am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore.
Someone who got dissolved?
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water.
Yep.
And it all grew dim.
Right.
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him equally as much.
Maybe we need to find them?
But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
So you need me to find them?
No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The
Why?
thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache,
Yeah.
tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
I believe it will be hard for him to forget you.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, Losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
Yeah, so he was a witness.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving, if anything. I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface.
Yes, because they were talking about how the people of Fontaine used to be people of the ocean, so maybe they were oceanids?
I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
Seems that after the body is dissolved, some measure of the consciousness still remains, yeah.
I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Simon? I wonder how much time has passed in reality.
Farewell,
Huh,
then.
good point.
I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
You got it. And that's sad though. Oh, hi. Oh, also cutscene. What the frick? Navia? Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on? Whoa, she's cool. Yo. We should probably help, right? Though we're probably weak too. Oh shoot. Let's go, Traveler.
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
Can get him. Whoa.
Chlorand?
Could be her. Ooh. Oh, she's helping. Okay, I was confused. What is she writing of this place?
Quick, now's our chance!
Let's go. Oh, that's pretty dope. Oh my god. Whoa, okay. Nice. Yeah, she's the one with the gun. Okay, I thought so. Whoa. Nice. Okay, the co-op. Yeah, about that.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I mean, how did you all make it here, to be honest?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Well, she's part of the guard. Maybe she's allowed to.
Mr. Callus's last wish
I don't
was
know
for
what the
me
law
to
is here.
ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust.
Oh.
He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Oh,
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Chlorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I
these guys are nice.
did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law.
Okay.
I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
Pretty sus.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. we will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Thank you.
Right.
Goodbye.
I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Mademoiselle, I believe that Miss Clarand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
Oh, I was gonna say, what has happened?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us!
It did look pretty intense.
Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clarand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, so you're a fighter now, Paimon. Oh yeah, thank you, Navia.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In
Okay.
truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
Alright,
If
Silver.
it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
These guys are great. Just gassing her up all the time.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Good point.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh?
Oh.
Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing than she thought!
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
Oh.
How did that help?
Was she gonna charge her or something?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
Oh, they tasted strange as well, but I couldn't be sure.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also
Oh.
been a bit off.
Was it spiked with the sea of whatever?
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial
Oh.
sea?
There you go. Thank you,
Yes.
Paimon.
So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Oh,
Spina di
jeez.
Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Oh. Dang. It's like that picture of The Office, but with Paimon.
Really?
Fortunately, Paimon, neither of us are from Fontaine. Otherwise, we would have
I
been...
sent people to
Yup.
Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all.
Yeah.
That's when I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But
That was a close one.
us too.
Jeez.
All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
As per usual.
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which,
True.
did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now.
Yeah.
He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again.
Will we connected to it somehow?
Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too.
Yeah.
It was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then?
According to Lynette, the ability to hear voices like that has to do with one's sensitivity to the hydro element.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That'll make sense.
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
Yeah. I also gained some new intel.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it, shall we?
Sounds weird, but yeah. The voice in the fountain belonged to one of the missing women. A person named Cher was witness when she dissolved.
Oh, that is important.
Yeah. You tell everyone about what happened while you were connected to the Oceanid's consciousness.
Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately.
I mean, it could have been from a while ago, right? Because how long ago did the disappearance start? Like 20 years ago or something? I forgot.
Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never
Yeah.
gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
Yeah, we could search for him.
Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
Alright, partner.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Sure. I mean, we need something to do, right?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right?
Exactly.
And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
This will prove to be their biggest
Mademoiselle,
mistake.
do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
Look at her smile.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you.
Cool.
We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry,
Sure.
you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Okay, let's go to the stronghold. This act is off to an interesting start, by the way. Yeah, because I feel like whenever we get into the nation, it's pretty slow-paced. And, you know, at the end it got pretty interesting. But now that we're actually here, and we understand a little bit more how things work, now we can actually get into the real interesting side of things. Ooh, passage.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, Traveler.
Nice, so an underground stronghold? Okay, there's the accommodations. Yeah, whoa. Is this like the sewers or something? Yeah, we are down here. Oh, I remember hearing something like this. That the lower classes will be down here. This actually reminds me a little bit of Arcane. I guess they do have that steampunk aesthetic as well. That's probably where it reminds me of, like all the tubes and stuff. Not to say that that's steampunk inherently, just the overall, even the coloring. Oh, hello.
This is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
It's kinda cool.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Sound good. Come on, Traveler, don't be mean. Thank you.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately.
Yeah, she really was looking at that invoice from the restaurant.
After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Oh.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your
Gotcha.
father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
Go ahead.
No, I'll explain it myself.
Oh.
I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes,
Callus.
the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh
Damn.
no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up.
I mean, knowing this place, I'm sure he was.
At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that.
There's definitely more to that.
How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
Oh, so it must have been Chlorine who killed them, right? That's why now you guys so angry at her? Oh, I do remember reading that before. I was like, damn it, I got spoiled on that, and then I completely forgot. I'm glad that happened, actually. Someone said something like, yeah, Chlorine killed someone's father or something. I forgot exactly what it said. But yeah, okay, so it was Chlorine, and probably the father asked her to keep watch on her. Does seem quite odd. Do you have any clues as to why?
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's
Okay.
why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Getting the truth for the sake of your family. You know, we're quite alike in this regard. Shut up, Traveler. We're not. I mean, in a way, but not exactly.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful.
Damn. I mean, these guys are really cool. They stuck by.
Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
It is weird. There is a lot of weird stuff here.
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that.
Interesting.
People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... Never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Yeah. Yeah, I already guessed that, Melis. I was ahead of you with that.
Oh.
Called it.
Her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
Yeah, no wonder the vibe was a little off. The vibes were a little intense, you know?
Yeah. That's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Kinda awkward.
Ms. Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either.
Right.
She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena...
I mean, sounds like he just wanted to die, right? So she probably just honored his wish.
There was only ever one choice she could have made.
Yeah, not to say that it will make it any easier for the daughter.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry,
Yeah, fair.
Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Ms. Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
Yep. I kinda picked up on that. Genshin, you really gotta let us, trust your audience a little bit that they're gonna pick up on the context clues. I feel like they're spelling it out a little too much. He intended to die in that duel, yes, that's what I've been saying.
Understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
No, you're good. I understand how important this is to you. Yeah,
thanks.
Now we got the full context.
You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Right.
Yeah, everyone's beat.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's only been 1 day, but it's actually been 2 days and a half maybe, because of the case.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Thank you. Rest in your room, alright. Very few times we get to rest in an actual room. Peaceful night passes under the Spina di Rosula's protection.
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe, huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina di Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Ooh. Okay, Navia.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
Sheesh.
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Okay.
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It
Oh.
doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vache person is a key witness in the incident.
Right.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to.
Which is?
And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept.
Interesting.
If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you.
Yeah, he's on top of everything.
In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
Huh?
Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Is she afraid to meet him? I don't know. But Navia so far, it's a really interesting character. She's probably my favorite character of this whole area so far. The truth flows with the rain. Okay, so I think we're gonna go check the files. And after that, I'm probably gonna end it for now. Maybe let here.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded.
Yeah.
Guess that proves that Neuvillette's files are really secure.
Hey,
I
don't
mean, that's
you
fair.
recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
I mean, if this is the guards that Neuvillette has, I feel like we're good, you know? We can just sneak by.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Right.
Paimon can tell.
If you're
Yep,
here
yep.
just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
They feel like a Steven Universe character.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, you were the guard?
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
Is it?
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up
The little
case.
wings.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Ah, nice.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Go to the Chief Justice's office.
Please come in.
Oh, alright. Hello, sir. Well, this is a big office. Do you have two clocks? Hold on.
Sorry to
What
barge
the
in,
frick?
Monsieur Neuvillette. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
What?
So you're not mad at us?
Seems pretty chill.
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If
Yep.
we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
But does he want us to do it?
Ah, I see. In that
Probably.
case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
I don't know. What are we thinking here? So are we trusting him? Are we not trusting him? What is he? What are those things hanging off
Who
his
knew that Neuvillette
coat?
would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years.
That right.
There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
All in his head. But we're back to square one, I guess.
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem.
Huh? What was that?
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
Yeah?
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words.
Dang.
You only said those things because you felt like you should.
Took his time to do it too, like once we were like almost out of the door.
It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort.
Ah.
You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead.
Oh, interesting.
In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die? Despised and hated by all. Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to.
Dang, not only is Navia, I was gonna say Mavia, shout out to Mavia. Not only is Navia a good character, her VA is really killing it.
If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
I guess that makes sense, right? Because he's gotta be completely impartial. Probably he has grown to just be like that, right? Every time it takes its time loading things, I think there's gonna be a cutscene or something, but I think it's just loading a new area. Yeah, there we go.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Are you?
Rain. It's raining.
Ooh, again?
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
The rain.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Your father's case, was he outside when it happened?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene?
I'm trying to figure out where he's going with that, but no, I don't know.
That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
There was something you didn't know at the time.
Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
The fact that people can be turned into water, yeah.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain?
Oh, maybe?
Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
Right.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner.
Yeah.
You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
I'll go right now. This is actually a little behind the scenes fun fact. This is a couple days after I recorded the previous few minutes of the episode. So yeah, no, I'm ready to go. We should go while they're still fresh. You can go first, I'll join you later. Like we can go and explore or we can continue. That's cool. She'll go while they're still fresh.
Let's go then.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I'm assuming this is gonna be a long part. So it's probably telling you that, hey, no turning back after this. Just gotta, oh, where the frick am I? Okay, this is another cool angle though. Oh, this is Poisson, right?
Whoa,
Yeah.
what a huge ship!
That looks pretty cool.
Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters.
Oh,
My father was
cool.
the one who asked for it to be built like this.
Oh.
Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
I think I'm starting to get why you like it, yeah. But couldn't it also have to do with the fact that supposedly this whole place is gonna get, drowned in water?
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past.
Oh yeah, that looks really cool.
Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Yeah.
Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Basically, Navia's father was a prepper, Also, I missed, the little teleporters in Sumeru. Yeah, those were really fun. And there were some in Inazuma as well. Similar. I don't know, guess they didn't think it was necessary for this nation. Oh, hello there. I'm LS. These guys are cool.
Melus, we're back!
Oh, Melus. Sorry.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said
Right.
before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember,
Yep.
right, Melus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Cool. Could the mastermind be the same person?
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called Sinthe began to gain popularity in Poisson.
Sinthe.
At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
He said that, yeah.
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that Sinthe is created using water from the primordial sea. If you drink Sinthe for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything.
Yikes.
It's an extremely dangerous substance.
Yeah.
As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to Sinthe abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Gotcha.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
There was like no regulation on the substance? Like what?
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation.
Okay, so it was illegal? I'm assuming? It just, the way she made it sound at the beginning, it sounded like it was just a popular thing that everyone was, taking or something. Less like a drug and more like alcohol or something like that. But the way that it was described, these effects definitely sounded more like a drug.
Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Yeah, I keep forgetting there are guns in this in this nation. Like in any other nation, I don't think there's been guns, right? It's just like swords or knives or... That's interesting, actually. But yeah, I mean, that's a whole Phoenix Wright situation. Like Edgeworth with the gun stuff.
How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
Oh, yeah, why will they overlook that? What? So they could have belonged to someone who got dissolved? I mean, I guess they didn't have,
It's all thanks to you
that
that I made
knowledge.
the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet.
Yeah, okay.
But
They didn't have a better
considering it
explanation.
now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Maybe your father got into an argument with Jacques, but it's also possible that the third person was to
You're
blame.
right.
Yeah.
We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out.
Think so too.
I'm finally headed towards the truth.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning.
Okay. I'm glad that we have Malus who can, attest to all this
I
stuff.
think this third person is probably the key to the full truth.
Yep.
On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning.
No, man.
Our
That's fair.
opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina di Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
But if the case helps solve something even further, I don't know.
If that's
I don't
indeed
think
what he wished for,
she will.
then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Sinthe is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed.
I feel like it's totally fair.
Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death? And live out my life just as meaninglessly?
Yeah, I'm still curious about why he wanted to just lose his life in the duel. Because I don't think he was expecting to win. So there's gotta be a reason. Either he was really regretful of, losing his friend, putting him on the line of danger and stuff, or there's something else. I don't know.
I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now.
Let's go,
I want
Navia.
to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know
I agree.
something else, Malus.
Yes, I do. In
Oh,
fact,
dang.
even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Sinthe and the serial disappearances case.
Of course.
But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
Oh,
What?
that's why he asked
Boss also didn't tell you
Chlorine
that
to protect
he
her.
had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The
Oh,
doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live, and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict, but once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you.
yeah.
Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina di Rosula about the details.
Wow.
But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Sinthe and the disappeared victims.
Wow, okay.
Right. So nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time,
Well-
the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
Until a little while ago.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
Well, 5 years,
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard.
Oh, that's true,
Especially
yeah.
someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
Okay, that makes sense.
So he
Dang.
chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I guess.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
Dang. I think so too.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight?
I don't think he rolled like
No.
that.
He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
He gave you the choice to live how you want.
Yeah.
Right.
I suppose
Even
that's
Melus
true.
just now.
With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a care in the world. But
Yeah.
thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Melus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
Yeah.
It's the location where Sinthe is produced.
Oh.
Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters.
This was what, 5 years ago? I feel like we took a lot longer than we should have
When
with
he
that.
was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found.
Okay, makes sense.
But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
For sure.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
We could. I wouldn't be against it, but we probably need, I don't know, more evidence or something.
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades.
Yeah. They will have a lot of fail-safes and stuff.
There's no telling
Sure.
what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Yep, exactly.
That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Sinthe with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Melus.
Yeah.
I am the butler, after all.
The
I live
butler.
but to serve the boss and demoiselle's will.
Nice.
I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you
Fair.
for all of that, Melus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula.
Oh yeah.
Or at least have an informant planted. When I announced
sure.
orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the Sinthe vendors. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news.
Yeah.
After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to 3 people.
Really? Dang, Melus,
The
okay.
first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Oh, that's definitely him.
Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was someone who understood Boss really well. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus avoid capture this whole time. There's someone else like him too.
That could make sense.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Oh, never mind, this him.
Uncle Marcel.
What is this confrère?
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
Okay.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Sounds like that.
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, they provided us with plenty of support. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
Sure, if you want to hide yourself really well.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local authorities.
Yeah, makes sense.
Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see.
Yeah.
These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly.
Also, that accomplice was a guard. It wouldn't be unheard of.
That the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Understandable.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
I agree.
You're too kind, my lady. I'm just doing my duty. And before I
forget,
proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame in Jacques' death.
True.
After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care.
Oh.
They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit.
Okay.
I can make the necessary arrangements.
That could be awkward. I hope not.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
I guess it depends, right, on if they actually believe that he was the killer.
A new case awaits, my dear partner.
But I guess if they accepted to be taken on by us, I don't know. Leave it to me.
I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once and for all.
Let's do it. New set of clues. Oh, right away we gotta visit Jack's family. Okay, let's do it. Sorry if I sound a little weird, by the way. My nose is a bit stuffed right now. I don't know why. I think the heat is finally, decreasing, and so yeah. I think in the night my nose got a little stuffed. Also, whoa! I didn't even see this before. What the frick? Oh, Malus just teleported here, I guess.
Then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thanks.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Just chatting. Also, dang, that girl does not like us. Yep.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Let's not bother her for now.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
If it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Oh.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again.
Dang.
He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Yep, I mean, that all makes sense.
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, He told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Oh, does that mean someone ordered Jacques to take out Callis?
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man. So why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well,
No.
things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Papa
Sorry.
was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword, he must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me.
I get what she means, yeah.
I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
There has to be more. Again, there were 2 shots, and we haven't heard if Jacques died by 1 or 2 shots. I'm guessing 1. Oh, what's up with the other shot, right? There's always that in murder mysteries. Okay, so I thought the girl was gonna think that he did do it. Oh,
I'm fine.
but
Don't
okay.
worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next.
Let's do it,
The
okay.
lodge should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Got it, okay. So, yeah, let's look for inconsistencies in their testimonies. Let's see.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
Shut up, killer.
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
True.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside. And we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My
Jeez.
first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene.
Mad dash.
But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Good point.
Indeed.
Okay, 2 shots.
The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques.
Okay,
But I've never really bought that explanation.
right. But this, I don't know if it confirms it, but it does guide us to the idea that it was 1 shot that killed Jacques.
Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I
Okay.
even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene.
So whose gun was that?
But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person.
Yes.
About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a 3rd person there who was turned into water?
It's very possible.
At
Yeah.
least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him.
Yeah, exactly. Either it was Jacques' gun or whoever killed Jacques.
The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a 3rd person on the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys?
Or even picked it up after he turned into water, you know?
But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us?
I mean, would anyone have believed them?
He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine.
Yeah.
He chose instead to prove his honor in a duel.
I mean, Melus did say that he was prideful,
Did
so...
he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
I mean, that also, right? That will mess with you a lot.
About that, Melus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel.
Yeah.
I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
If you're not in jail.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth.
I mean, that could be an act, but it's kind of believable.
You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Alright, so you're off the hook for now, Florent. Okay, now let's go to the court and let's interrogate the other people. So we have... Oh, hello. I guess I should interrogate you before, right? Let's see.
Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Okay, this guy already sounds very suspicious.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me.
Really?
Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city.
Okay.
Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
More or less.
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Wait, is the Traveler shorter than her? I thought they were about the same size.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right?
Yep.
I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it.
Alright.
If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city.
That's also true.
So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Just, you know, just a thought. Hypothetically speaking, right?
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex.
Oh, okay. Kinda? I don't know. That was a weird explanation.
Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think.
Sure.
There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret.
But you know the steps.
So I can promise you,
kinda self-reported there, buddy.
Definitely private units.
Okay.
They're certainly not cheap. So whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Makes sense.
Oh. Then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia.
I don't think you are, buddy.
Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while,
I guess.
Just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Thank you. Okay, passionately powerful, huh? What about Marcel? You know, usually when you gotta interact with multiple people, they usually give us like the option to talk with anyone, like in any order, basically. So I wonder if in this case there is a reason why we're talking to people in a specific order. Oh, there you are. Hello. Oh.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
Thanks. After waiting for a while, Marcel's arrives in a hurry. Marcel.
Hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Sure.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Have you?
You were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive.
Thanks.
To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Why were you reminded of that? Because of the water dissolving thing? We haven't told you anything.
Exactly. I still don't have
because of the clothes,
proof,
maybe?
But I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh.
Right.
And what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Arenius by some unnumbered Gardamex.
And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again.
Yeah.
The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot.
Hell
Do
yeah.
you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
Yeah.
About that.
Good question.
Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory.
Yeah, you said that already.
The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly.
Sure.
I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Of a gunshot?
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Sure you will. Pretty sus. Pretty sus, I might say. Where is... Oh, is Navia up there? Okay.
We've talked to all three suspects. Purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I feel like either they didn't sound particularly suspicious or all of them sounded a little suspicious. None of them really stood out as a suspect.
I suppose that's to be expected, though.
Yeah.
If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years.
Exactly.
Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
Sure.
But where should we start?
Jack Smalltip.
Ah, you're right. Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with a gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the Sinthe boss to kill my father. Had he refused,
he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Maybe? If it was Jacques, I wouldn't have fired the shot at all.
Oh? And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callas? Could he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callas? True.
Oh, that's a good point.
If that was his focus, which I think it was.
Being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Yeah.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
Exactly. Seems the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
Yeah, of course the organization will send someone to make sure that he went through with it, and when he didn't, you know, it was a wrap for him.
Besides, Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well.
That's another good point.
It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Also, yeah, see, I told you that they were showing us all these interrogations in a specific order, because this final guy, I forgot his name, I'm bad with names, he just kept saying, oh, I have money, yeah, if you need money, just tell me, you know, I'll support you with money. I have a lot of money, by the way, did he tell you that? So, you know, it could be a red herring, but I think it's still good to keep it in mind.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible.
Yeah.
But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Marcel, right? Because Thierry, he said he will deploy them, but they wouldn't actually listen to him, which again, I didn't quite understand his explanation, but I think Marcel could privately own them, right?
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how we got to know Jacques.
We didn't get a lot of information about Florence, about his riches. I don't think we did anyway. Maybe I just forgot because of the Order again, trying to trip us up.
And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex.
Okay, yep.
Still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Maybe it was someone else? I don't know, does Florent have money? I don't know. What about Florent?
Florent?
Florent, sorry.
It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security. Okay. So he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
Yeah, I don't remember that being mentioned.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't.
I feel like...
And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Yeah. Thierry, then.
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use.
I guess, because he said, oh, it's a lot more complicated than you think. You have to do this and this and this.
But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory.
Yeah.
If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Yeah. They will have to be fully private, which is what I'm thinking is Meldus.
Who could it be?
I think... Choose the... Let me read that! I'm still thinking... not Florent. I'm still thinking Marcel, right? Or we have one more. Oh boy, of course. They did the usual, like, oh, it wasn't any of them. It was someone else. Maybe. I don't know. I'm still thinking Marcel.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
At least of all three of them.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
That's another good point.
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered.
Okay,
when
fair.
He laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
I'm telling you, he's someone who is very close to you after all.
We still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The Sinthe production base.
Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now.
Yeah, I
we
guess.
need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Okay.
Navia,
sounds
here
good
you
to me.
are.
Oh.
I've been looking for you.
What happened?
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah, Paimon and I can't remember anything either.
Yeah. News came from Areneus just after you left.
Ooh.
We've got another trial on our hands.
Ooh.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials?
Right.
What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
Oh, what? Child?
What? Is that someone you know?
You could say that.
We know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
What?
It's absurd, don't you think?
Yeah, is this whole nation just... They see a Fatui and they're like, oh, you must be the culprit. Couldn't be one of us, no.
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so
right.
I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang
It'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
Okay.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
Well, we do have his vision, right? But it has been malfunctioning. We still haven't figured that out. I think the best course of action is to split up.
Split up? What do you mean?
You can go there while I go investigate that place. I'm confident in my combat abilities. Yeah.
Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Areneus, leaving his home base wide open.
That will make sense.
Right.
Also, you probably shouldn't be telling...
This is our best opportunity.
Okay.
All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit.
Wait, what?
I won't have any chance of making that charge stick though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
I feel like we're going a little too fast, but okay. Hopefully I'll find enough evidence to point to him.
Like you helped us in Linny's trial.
And that he is the culprit, obviously.
Mademoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
Let's go.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver, when did you two get here?
These guys are the best. They're just here.
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
They are awesome.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Areneus. Paimon,
Areneus.
Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
Yep. Okie dokie. Suspect analysis, combining information regarding the Gardamex and the investigation results so far, it can be concluded that there is only one person who can have a large number of Gardamex in his possession and run the Sinthe business without leaving traces. The person is none other than Marcel.